Hey guys, presidential candidate Petersen here. I just got done doing an interview in Dubai, and we were talking about the falling oil prices and the impact that it's had on the global economy right now. And that was the big story for today, but that's obviously something that affects libertarians. But there was another story that came out today that I think I can provide some insight into that is the big story of the day. And this is the internal insider kind of movement stuff, not the big picture global economy stuff. And it's, this isn't scripted, so, doing this live, I have to kind of give you a stream of consciousness here. But I want to talk to you about what it means that Sarah Palin would endorse Donald Trump, because I have a bit of a history with some of these leading characters in the presidential election right now, having worked at Fox Business, having put together interviews with Governor Palin as well as Senator Rand Paul, and I don't believe I ever worked with Donald Trump, but I think I ran into him a few times in the green room. But I want to talk to you about what this means for us, and what it means for us in our future, because obviously a lot of people are angry because Sarah Palin, people who endorsed Donald Trump tend to be people who are not conservatives in the technical, literal sense of conservatism. And some people said, is this opportunism? I see some of the commenters right now are saying, was she bought out? And I want to give you my thoughts on what I think they're thinking, what's going on right now. Now, so I want to take you back to the heady days of 2010, the Tea Party tidal wave, when I was a young, idealistic libertarian in Washington, D.C., or actually, I just moved to New York for Fox Business, and Rand Paul had yet to be elected to the Senate. And I saw an opportunity here because Sarah Palin actually said some nice things about libertarians. She said some nice things about Ron Paul, and we need to acknowledge that. We need to acknowledge that because it's important to understand that while the other conservative leadership movement, conservative leaders were rejecting Ron Paul, rejecting the libertarian strain in the Tea Party, Sarah Palin was actually one of the only people who was saying nice things about Ron Paul. Sarah Palin was saying nice things about libertarians. She said specifically, we need to listen to those independents, those libertarians. And I think that she has some libertarian instincts. That doesn't mean that I think she's a libertarian. But what does it mean to see that she endorses Donald Trump? Well, I think it means that she wants to look out for her political future, perhaps, more than conservative principles. Because honestly, I would have thought that Governor Palin would have endorsed Ted Cruz if she was wanting to stick to, if she was really wanting to stick to true conservative principles, right? Because Donald Trump doesn't represent conservative values whatsoever. Now, I'm not a conservative, but I know what conservative values are, and I know that Ted Cruz happens to represent those miles above Donald Trump, and you all know that that's true too. But of course, here's the reality. The Palin endorsement means something, okay? It is important, and let me tell you why. Because when Rand Paul was running for Senate in 2010, before he won his Senate seat, it was mostly the libertarian movement centered around Ron Paul's presidential campaign. And Ron Paul's presidential campaign, as it was fading away, gave rise to the Tea Party movement, where conservatives and libertarians had a temporary alliance. And in that temporary alliance, we were able to get people elected to Congress and the Senate. We were able to elect Mike Lee, Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, Justin Amash, Thomas Massey. So with this tidal wave, we were able to sneak in our libertarians under the cloak of the Tea Party, and we got our people elected. And so it means something, because when Sarah Palin endorsed Rand Paul in his Senate seat, it changed the ground game, and I'll tell you why. I was working, at Fox at the time, but I was observing what was happening with the grassroots on the ground, and all of a sudden, when Sarah Palin's endorsement came out, the grassroots conservatives came in and they started volunteering for Rand Paul's campaign. And in the surge of activism that the conservatives gave us was the boost that we needed. We had the boots on the ground, but we didn't have the conservative support, which, there are quite a few more conservatives than there are libertarians, because To arrive at libertarianism, you have to think. To arrive at conservatism, you have to feel. Just like you have, democratic socialists, for example. They feel their politics. Conservatives tend to feel their politics. Now, there are some few exceptions at the National Review. There are some true conservatives who arrive at their principles based on not tribalism or based on feelings. They arrive at their conservative principles based on an intellectual understanding of things. But the Sarah Palin endorsement means something, because now all of the tribal conservatives who may have been on the fence are going to get behind Donald Trump, and this adds more momentum to the Trump, the Trumposity, what we have right here. And you have to understand, guys, that in the short term, the temporary alliances with the conservatives that we had with the Tea Party benefited libertarianism and the libertarian movement by getting our libertarian friends like Amash and Massey into the House of Representatives, people like Rand Paul. Now, I don't think Rand Paul's going to win, guys, and I know I've got a lot of Rand Paul friends on here who are diehards. I like Rand Paul, and I think he's a good man. I wish that he could be president. Unfortunately, I don't think that it's going to happen, because what's happening in the Republican Party right now shows that that party is not ready for libertarianism. They don't like libertarians. We have our own party. And I am campaigning to be the head of our party and to lead us into the future. And this is why I am fighting against Gary Johnson, because when Gary Johnson loses this time, he'll be gone in a few years, okay? I'll still be here. And the liberty movement needs to look to the future. And we need to talk about what things like short-term temporary alliances with people like Palin mean. Because we need more conservatives. If Trump wins and if Ted Cruz isn't his VP, we need Ted Cruz on our side. And I want them to join the Libertarian Party. I'm not sure if they will, but I want it to be a possibility. I want to make it a possibility that anyone could come and join us. All Republicans join us. I want all of the Democrats to join us, because I want to take over all the parties. You see, progressives dominate both parties now. And the progressives, I'm sure they had a lot of fights during the height of the progressive era. Oh, how dare you caucus with the Republicans? How dare you caucus with the Democrats? Like I hear a lot of stupid, moronic, idiotic libertarians doing now. Oh, how dare you be nice to a Republican? Yeah, so they'll join our party, so that they'll join our cause, so that I can get an endorsement from a Sarah Palin. Not because I agree with Sarah Palin, but because I want to win, because I want libertarianism to win. And here's another story. Sarah Palin, what does Sarah Palin know about monetary policy? Okay? What does she know about the Federal Reserve? Do you think that matters to me when I put her on my show, Freedom Watch, and had her supporting Ron Paul's audit of the Fed? When she came out there and said that we need to support that audit of the Fed, you think I gave a damn that she was a conservative and that she wasn't a libertarian? No, because she fought with us to help pass that. Now, Sarah Palin's gone off the deep end here, and she's gone and supported Donald Trump. Well, they want to go along with the administration? That's their business, as Martin Luther King would say. But I don't have to, because I'm going to stand for libertarianism no matter what. Because I'm an ideologue, and you know that I'm going to be a liberty champion no matter what. But if Sarah Palin wants to endorse Donald Trump, that's fine. But I'm going to wait and see what happens, because if Donald Trump doesn't win, maybe we can get Sarah Palin to come in and make an endorsement of us or our causes. She's even said some nice things about not arresting pot smokers in their basements. So be careful about who you push too far outside of the tent. Okay? Be careful about who you push too far, because while her endorsement of Trump betrays her conservative principles, she has some libertarian instincts, and there are some things that we need to understand about how we build our short-term alliances. Now listen, I know you guys, a lot of this stuff doesn't make you happy. And the job of a politician, trust me, I would do so much better as a candidate if I just told you what you wanted to hear all day, every day, if I was nice to y'all and just said, oh yeah, everything's gonna be great, libertarianism, we're gonna win. Well, we're not gonna win. We're not gonna win unless we change our attitudes and we change our strategy. Okay? We have got to change what we're doing. We have got to change ourselves and our marketing and our tactics. Adopt the tactics of our enemies. Don't adopt the ideas of our enemies. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I am fighting very hard for libertarian principles every single day for the last 10 years. I have been on the Freedom Watch. Okay? I am the watcher on the wall. Give me the nomination for the Libertarian Party, and I will raise the torch so high above my head that they will see the flames throughout the 7 kingdoms. Go to austinpetersen2016.com. Send me $5 to $10 today. I know a lot of you guys are broke. Do me a favor. Just send me $5. Buy a wristband or a bumper sticker to help me get around the country to spread this message. And I promise you, I will fight for our cause, and I will not back down, and I will win. You're going to get tired of winning with the AP for LP campaign. Thanks very much. Have a great day.